So the reason we wait is that it's easier for the dog to smell things that are kind of stagnant for a moment. Airflow changes things. My favorite question, which the kids asked this morning, was, how do you train them? If you have 5 years and follow me around, I'll teach you. The problem is airflow is your worst enemy. Because if they turn that on, and at like FDIC, those of you who've been there, I mean, it's just this giant thing, and we're always at this corner. The air comes whipping around, and there was a lady, remember the lady in the wheelchair?
Oh, yeah.
She had very active lupus and rheumatoid. Savannah must have been 5 minutes before, just stared at this spot. And eventually the lady made her way and went right up to her and hit her like a ton of bricks. So the airflow, let's say you're downwind of the dog. The dog can't smell you if he's upwind because the air is going that way. The dogs can also smell approximately 4 feet away. He can tell if somebody walks in the door, but it takes a moment for the air to kind of get in there. The other problem is, it doesn't mean if we hit on you that you have cancer. It probably means you don't, but there's some kind of inflammatory process going on. There's something happening in your body that's changing. And what's great about it is, by doing this, the dog is able to tell before you have a problem. So you don't die of cancer, you have your little issue, you have it removed, and you go on with your life. But the other thing is temperature. Temperature is really important. My people have to go through 2 months, basically, of meteorology. They go through about a year of anatomy and physiology, because they have to know. So I will tell you, with Wyatt, when he hits somewhere, he doesn't say, oh, okay, it's your left ovary and you've got, you know, you're ovulating, but you've got a little issue. I have to know what he's hitting. So when we certify the dogs to do this, they have to be certified with a human. So if one of you took him, you wouldn't have a clue what he was doing. You wouldn't know if he was saying hi to you or if he was hitting on something profound. Now, the reason that this is so important and that I don't tell people exactly what I do, because you know the movie or the show Jackass? So people will go, oh, I got a pug at home. I'm going to turn him into a seizure alert dog or a blood sugar dog, diabetic alert dog. Pugs probably have like fewer olfactory cells than humans. They're probably and they're cute as butt, but they, you know, it's the length of the nose also does have a lot to do with it. Hounds tend to be better. So while I'm talking to you, I'm letting scent build up, and we'll check. Now, if everything is fine, he will step up on the chair. He will go around 2 or 3 times around the nose and mouth, maybe give a quick check. If he lingers, it doesn't mean there's a problem. It just means he's trying to get his sense of smell going. Remember Jacobson's organ, right? They can smell this side separately from this. So if he smells something on this side and not on this side, he turns his head. Now if he smells it on both, he knows he's dead center on both. If he only smells it on his left side, he'll return back. So they can actually pinpoint the exact spot with Jacobson's organ. So it's the distance between the nostrils. So that's pretty small on a dog. So they can get that accurate. Pretty cool. Now, if we have a hit and it's something profound, I'm hoping everybody's giving me permission, because you're basically, I'm going to tell you, unless you have ovarian cancer when, you know, your name was Bruce before it was Caitlin, or vice versa. Again, it doesn't mean that it's a cancer, but it means that there's something in that area in your body that is suspicious. Remember exception detection, so that means that doesn't smell like, remember in Sesame Street, which of these things is not like the others? So when we're in a firehouse and everybody has bad knees, after about 5 or 6 people, he'll stop hitting on the knees for that instance, because he said, you all have crummy knees, I'm not going to bother. But he won't do that for cancer, because you're not going to have 30 people in a row having cancer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to just scoot your butt back in that chair as much as you can. He's going to step up very carefully between your knees. Mama. He's like, just getting comfortable. And if there's nothing, it should take 10 seconds. If it's something, you'll see it. And if he puts his paw on you and pulls you forward, we'll talk. So just breathe normally through your nose and mouth. Pretty disinterested in you. He's got it already. That's a negative. Hopefully you don't have anything you don't know about. But he came across here, and you're breathing normally. If he wants, if he smells something that is concerning to him, he'll at least show more interest. This is pretty good right here. So hopefully, and here's another thing. If anybody's being treated, we've had people with, guys with prostate cancer. If you're being treated and the treatment is successful, like Verdine in Detroit, he won't be able to smell it because he can smell cytokines. Cytokines are the byproduct of cancer. Normal, healthy cancer will actually have that smell coming out of it, and that's what the dogs are hitting. He's pretty disinterested, so that's good. Uh-oh, you were looking right in front there. And again, you're going to let the smell kind of...
Yep. So part of our process and the pre-test work that we do before we come out to a department test, and we'll do this via conference call or in-person meetings. We'll come out and we'll literally identify where all the resources are for that department. We make sure that the local cancer center is alerted that we may be making some fire service referrals. If we're looking for a specific cancer trend in a department, for example, prostate cancer, we'll actually contact the appropriate physician for that area and vet them ahead of time. We did that actually in California for Santa Clara Fire Department. They wanted to do some specific cancer testing, so we identified 3 specialists in that area so that their membership could choose which physician was appropriate for them and that they were comfortable with, but they're still seeing a specialist in that cancer should they have a positive. And this was being done with one of the urine tests for detecting cancer.
By the way, he has the smell of somebody in the back of the
Yes, yes. So, but again, just because we have a positive detection with a dog on a part of the body, this is where we come in and we do a mini profile on your health. And again, all this is confidential within our process. We contact you one-on-one from our team to you. The only person who can share this information publicly is you yourself. That's the only way that folks would find out what is going on. Go ahead.
Breathe as normally as you can with 105-pound dogs. You're going to have to scoot back a little. I know you're big guy. So breathe through your nose. Got some sinus infection, headache behind here, or something up in this area. Not a cancer, but some kind of, you might be getting a bad infection or allergies or something that's so see the paw? Doesn't mean anything bad, but he wants to smell behind you. So let's have you stand up. Just let him get smell behind you. So now I'm going to let him check. Now remember, it could be somebody who sat on the chair before you too. So he's cool. You're good. Scared me a little bit. But that happens sometimes where somebody was on an airplane or in a diner and you sit down and he'll hit back here. And I can't tell unless you take a shower and take your clothes off. I can't tell. So, but that was like that, hey, I want to smell below that. So this chair is...
We won't use that chair again. Okay.
There's probably somebody who sat on there. Ooh, it might be...
Yeah.
Okay.
Chief Donis, we'll bring you next, the captain.
Is that the last one?
We'll do 2 more. So when we do the mini profile with you, we're asking things. You know, what is your lifestyle like on and off duty? What is your diet like? What type of medical issues do you have that you're willing to share with us? Also, what is your family history like? Because sometimes there are things that will indicate. Go ahead. Sinus issues,
No, that's,
breath,
you didn't see his eyes.
okay?
So we gotta check you out, because that's the difference between the first and, now it doesn't mean that you got something major, but you see how he was looking at you like, and his nose was going, that's a very positive thing. But it doesn't mean it's cancer, it means there's something going on, something systemic. Now, he's not hitting you in the body, so it could be lungs. Usually if he hits like in the nose, mouth area, nose usually goes to upper GI, which he was hitting a lot because you weren't breathing through your mouth much, so you could have like a really wicked ulcer or something really bad in your GI, because the nose is gonna go to lung and usually mouth goes to upper GI. But we definitely wanna.
Janice, I have a question. So let's say it was infection or something like he has sinusitis.
No, that's not sinus. No, that's not sinus.
Why
That's
did he let him?
because he wants to make sure that I'm looking at him, and it's also another way that he can take that in. He doesn't normally lick. He'll touch you, but so there's this is when I hate doing this, because I hate looking at somebody going, oh, we better check you out, but there's something.
So in a scenario like this, what we do, we chat further. We talk a little bit about, what's going on medically with you. But we also stand by with you so that, again, when you go for your next physical, we make sure that you're getting all the information that you need. We're going to want you to take a look at your GI system, certainly.
Yeah,
GERD is a huge issue, often undiagnosed with our folks because we're in a constant state of ready, a constant state of high adrenaline. I'm sure sitting there having a dog come and sniff you, it probably increased your secretions a little bit as you're sitting there thinking, okay, I have this dog who's going to now sniff me in front of all these people. So if you tend to have any sort of reflux issues, again, we'll see these things build. Again, all treatable, all things that can be managed by you. So.
Let me check.
All right, Chief Jim, we'll bring you up. We can get another chair, Janice, if you want a totally fresh chair. Okay.
Yeah. Just give me a second. Let it. So give him a second.
Yep.
Also want to let his nose clear out and let the air around clear out. Remember I said about the elevator? So whatever smells are around, you want that to clear away so that the dog isn't hitting on the same thing. What happened one time early on, well, it's like with Cindy, she didn't tell you the dog was standing up. What I knew something was wrong because when I walked in the first day I met her, my dog hit on people's backs, the chairs, a purse, a business card holder, a cash box, and I'm like,
I had welcomed everybody as they came in the room.
how you
So
doing?
everyone that I walked,
Melanoma.
yeah, so everyone that I
Everybody
walked up
chair.
to and put my hand on their back or on the back of their chair to thank them for coming that evening.
We looked at each other and went, okay. So now it's on everybody.
Yeah. So it made it very
It's always
interesting.
Cindy's fault.
It's always my fault. Some of the other things that we look at, though, too, we look at your soil, we look at your water, we look at what your exposures are. All those things also contribute to how your status is for your health. So, as he's clearing there.
I think we're just scoot your butt back.
He's warming up.
See, he's already just checking. You might have a chance. That's about it. So he's still processing. Remember the Jacobson's organ? So he's processing where the smell's coming from. So far, I'm not worried. But he kind of came up here, and this time of year, coming out of the winter, it's like a T for your sinuses. They'll hit up here, between your eyes, and up a little bit, and that would be upper respiratory sinus kind of a thing. So he's not sure if it's anything going on. He's checking in here. trying to get in the smell, but he's drafting on. Okay. I know it looks like he's just standing there, but if you can see, Jacobson's already, you can actually see the way the nostrils flare. The other interesting thing is that when a dog exhales, it's not like us where that's not a problem. That is, he smelled something, he drafted up, he's getting the smell of somebody else. He drafted up, his head came over here, and his left nostril was going, not his right. If it were his right, I'd be more concerned. So I think you probably just have a little sinus thing, you might have a little, inner ear kind of thing. Something up here, kind of like nothing. Just got over bronchitis. Okay, kind of upper respiratory. You're good. Go enjoy your life. A la Wyatt.